And that is about Kayla Harrison, who is yet to sign with or be, I guess, officially recognized as a member of the UFC's roster. But we before the holidays, we were told that they are talking, they are in negotiations, and all signs seem to point to that she will become a member of the UFC's roster. Now, this is a little interesting, Dominic, because we don't really have a division for her to come into.
Nope.
You got, like a couple names that are still hanging around that are true featherweights, and then a few bantamweights that can't seem to cut the extra pounds or whatever it may be. Um, there's no rankings for this division. It's really been a tough road for women's featherweight.
Yeah, ever
So I
since
think
the beginning.
and I even said after we did have a main event in 2021 in the division, Aspen Ladd
Yeah,
did take on who did
Norman
she lose
Dumont.
to? Yeah, Norman Dumont. Norman Dumont wins, but the fans lose because they had to watch the fight.
Yeah.
So I said then I thought that was it. That was the nail in the coffin. This division will no longer be with us in about a year's time. However, Dominic, the question now instead is, can Kayla Harrison? Let me rephrase.
Okay.
Will the UFC build this division around Kayla Harrison?
You've got to think the answer is yes, and that is simply because why else would they show interest in her?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to really go through all this, contract negotiations and whatnot with Ali and Kayla and her team just for potentially one fight? Really? Like, I know that's a huge fight, but even Dana came out and said, like, well, after Amanda lost to Juliana, that fight's not quite as big as it could have been, and yada yada yada.
Well, now
So,
he's saying Amanda versus Pena is like the biggest women's fight of
well,
all
yeah, now he's
time.
saying that is the biggest fight of all time. You know how Dana be, but I have to say yes because again, why else go through this? Why not just go back to PFL, let Scott Coker sign you with Bellator? Like, I have to believe they're gonna try and give it a second wind, a bit of a resurgence, if you will, if the big word being if Kayla Harrison does to decide to sign there. Especially, I mean, if she comes in and beats Amanda, she's not going to fight at 135. She simply can't make it. She's too big. She's literally a women's lightweight. You're already asking a lot of her to cut the featherweight 1, 2, at the most 3 times a year for fights. So
Mm-hmm.
I do think that if Kayla comes in, they will attempt to build a division around her, especially if she beats her teammate Amanda Nunes. She's going to become one of the biggest stars in the sport. So
That's so true, and yet I'm still gonna say no.
yeah,
Like, and here's kind of where I'm thinking. I think you're right. Kayla Harrison will probably become one of the biggest stars in the sport if she's able to beat
yes,
Amanda Nunes or whatever. I think that there's a lot of routes for her to really, reach that status that we all know is there. But in terms of, do I think they're going to build a division around her? Do I think in a year and a half or in a year and a half's time, do I think we're going to have a top 15
yeah,
women's featherweight rankings? No, I don't. I think the UFC will maybe treat her a bit like if you were in the back in the like Roman gladiator days or whatever, back at the Colosseum.
yeah,
She's the lion, and you got the people that they bring out to fight the lion, and usually they just get mauled to death.
yeah.
That's what I think is going to really be happening. You're just going to kind of get these.
One offs.
Yeah, I do think Kayla Harrison has the potential to kind of be that popular, to be
Yeah,
that big, where you really don't. It doesn't matter who she's fighting. Almost a Ronda Rousey type, but I'm
yeah,
not gonna say. I'm not gonna really say she's Ronda Rousey level, but I just think that you know I don't see how the I don't see the UFC's interest in really building this division.
yeah.
But I agree that they should because Kayla Harrison is worth it, and I think that they will recognize that she's worth it. But I just don't know if they feel there's enough talent in that division to make a whole division out of it.
Right. Yeah,
So I think you're just going to get a lot of one-offs, a lot of bantamweights moving up, maybe. Um, I think, truthfully, I don't know if the UFC and Kayla Harrison are long-term partners. I don't.
think it's kind of a short, sweet
I
deal.
wonder if this is like a Chris Cyborg, not necessarily going to end on bad terms, but a 2-year, 2.5-year
Let's see what we can
relationship.
do, and
Yeah. So, still think women's featherweight is eventually on its way out.
we'll see how much longer we can keep saying that.
I know. I literally said that on episode 5.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.